what you are doing. If you eat well, you will look well. If you don't eat well, then you will not get any results. So it's definitely a fundamental to fitness. It's definitely a fundamental to sports.
Guys, the prompt is the next thing. If you're not on, get on, okay?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the prompt. Today we have your favorite MC, media personality, radio presenter. Some of you may know her from her works. She has been featured with some of your favorite artists and entertainers like KD, Rochelle Daphne, Mix, and Natasha Chansa. Lena, how are you today?
Good, and you, Blessing?
So let's start with my first question. So my first question to you is, how did the journey of being a presenter start? Like, what curiosity did you have?
It started, well, it basically started properly in October last year. Before that, I did radio on and off, but I wasn't consistent. So I only really started being consistent with it in October last year, 2020.
So you have been doing this for a year, right? And then you decided, like, okay, now let me create my own show, right? The Real Talk. So what motivated you to do that?
Well, one thing about me is I love supporting people. So for me, it's always been about support. Like I had my show before then, but it was just me talking, like about daily issues and everything. But I felt like I really wasn't helping anyone as much as I would be in terms of interviewing artists, because I realized there's a lot of unknown new wave Zambian artists that need to get their voice out there. And not only artists, actually, just like creatives that need to get their voice out there. Because like I'm sure you've seen, I interviewed Mix as well, and he definitely tells us that he's not a rapper, he's not an artist, he's a creative.
Yeah.
And for me, my show is genuinely not only about artists, but like anyone that's making an impact or doing something great for the industry. Yeah.
During our first conversation, you talked about how you interviewed Natasha Chance and how she was like the first person that believed in you in this journey. How was that like? How did you meet?
Yeah, the first time I met Natasha Chansa actually was at a party with um, a close friend of mine. Yeah, we went to a party together and he introduced me to her. And at the time, I didn't really know who's who in Lusaka because obviously I was schooling in SA for quite a while. So when I came back, everything had changed. So when I met her, I didn't know who she was. I didn't know that she was, such an amazing artist. And when I found out and I listened to more of her stuff, I was like, you know what? Why don't I actually get into interviews? And from there, she was the first person to actually give me the go ahead. So, yeah.
When I look at your interviews, you have quite unique questions that help people to connect with an artist in a different way. What are some of the weirdest answers you have received from your question?
Let me, there's so many, honestly, because I ask such weird questions. I think probably it's between Mix and Shadaya. So Shadaya's was when I asked her who you'd like to, who would you what would you like to do, right? If you weren't doing what you're doing right now. And she was like, I'd like to be married to a rich drug lord. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, a rich drug lord. That was, yeah, something. And then when Mix like told me that he's afraid of owls, because for me that was funny. I don't know why I found it funny, but I've never met someone that's afraid of owls. So yeah, now every time I look at an owl, I just start laughing because yeah, he doesn't look like he's the type to be afraid of that of an owl. So
Yeah.
yeah, those are probably quite a few, but there's a lot. There's a lot. I get interesting answers all the time.
So, like, how do you come up with these questions? Because, like, I was watching one with KD, right? Like, before
Mhm.
we started, and, I found it, like, one of the funniest things ever. So, how do you come up with your questions?
For me, I'm a natural speaker. Like I just naturally like I'm very intuitive. I like to know a lot. Okay, I like to know a lot, and I'm also very inquisitive. So I like to ask a lot. So for me, it's a thing of it's not hard for me to come up with like strange questions, and some of them, more actually, probably all of them are just like from the top of my head, like what situation or what answer would I get from this person that would, make it interesting? Because I'm trying to see the interesting side of people, not like the answers they give everyone else.
So, you have this strategy of interviewing people in a very unique way, and where like you're on air, right? You're on air on Saturdays from 2 to 3, and then on Fridays you usually have a live on your Instagram. Why is that?
I do them on both because, okay, firstly, the times we're in right now, very few people are in their cars and very few people decide to stream radio or anything like that. So for me, it was a thing of how am I going to get people to still listen even though they're at home, right? So I was like, let me start doing lives. And it was actually Mix's idea, crazy enough, because when he came for my interview, he was like, I want to record it. And I was like, I've never thought of that actually. That's a good idea. And from then I was just like, I thought about it and I asked the people and the people are like, yeah, you should do lives. So from then I just kept to it. Also, because I don't go to uni in Lusaka, I am actually studying online right now because of the lockdown. But when I do go overseas, I study in Cyprus. When I do go that side, I still want to continue, even if I'm not, able to meet the people. For me, lives are more convenient.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that think that you just started as being a radio presenter, but then they don't know about you being a YouTuber starting out and trying that, and then you discovering that it wasn't meant for you.
I used to watch YouTube like a lot. Now not as much, but I still do watch it like at least twice a week, if not more. But I used to watch YouTube a lot, and because of that, I was like, why not try being a YouTuber? And then I realized that I'm not a very open person in the sense that I'm gonna put my whole life out there. Because I've noticed for you to get people to follow you on YouTube, every single thing, almost every single thing, has to be filmed, right? Unless it's something like what you're doing. Um, for you to be a blogger, all of that, you have to take videos of you waking up, of you with your boyfriend, if you have one, of you with your girlfriend. Like everything is out there, and I personally like people to like be confused about what's going on in my life. So as long as I have that privacy, I still feel good. So for me, YouTube was just like, a trial, a test and error.
Yeah.
But I guess it's not for me. I would still go back to it, obviously over time, but not as a blogger or anything like that. Maybe like to continue real talk, but other than that, yeah, YouTube is not. It's not where I'm focused at right now. You know.
You know, so like as you may know, the prompt is all about initiative and business minded, right? Bouncing ideas of each other. So I had an idea, I was just thinking, right? So like since you're into like radio and stuff like that, I was thinking that you're at the station, you can get like a camera or two on where you're filming and stuff like that, and then you have that for the YouTube, but you also still have your live.
I've thought about all of these things. It's me that's delaying. I've spoken to quite a few cameramen and have tried to make plans. I've gotten quotations. Now it's just putting everything into place so I can start. Because yeah, I do want to do that. Like I said, if I go back to YouTube, it's for real talk. So I do want to start filming my interviews and everything because yeah, I think that's what people seem to enjoy.
If somebody came to you, right, and said, okay, Lena, I'm a big fan of the real talk, and I'm an entertainer, I do music, I do film, and I want to have an interview with you. How do they go about that? Like, what do you look for somebody to be?
Well, for me, what I look for in terms of artists, like there's quite a few that actually come to me and they're like, can we have an interview? And obviously, then I have to go and do my research on certain people. I look for people that are very, okay, firstly, you have to be out there, you have to be well known. It's like that usually helps. But if you're not, I would still interview you, obviously. Secondly, your music, or what you're doing. Like I said, this year, I'm gonna try and get into like creatives all around, not just artists, but all around. And then I look at the person you are. So what I do is, a lot of people would obviously testify to this. I get your number. And once I get your number, we start talking. And I'm sure, like, in your head, most people's heads, like, this girl messaged me so that she could have an interview with me. When is this interview happening, right? But that's not because I'm keeping your number for personal reasons. I'm keeping it to observe and to see the type of person you are. Because you end up forgetting that, oh, this girl has my number because she wanted to interview me. And then when I see that, okay, they're releasing something, now we have like content, let me interview you. Because now I already know which angles and what type of questions to come at you with. So I try to look at the personality as well sometimes.
You strike me as a go-getter, as somebody who always creates opportunities for herself. How has that really helped you and impacted, your journey this far?
Okay, the crazy thing is a lot of people don't know this, but my dad actually owns Rock FM. So like when they hear that, they're like, oh, then it was easy for you to, get a job there. But that's never been my life, especially with my father. I'm the only girl with 4 younger brothers. So my dad has always been super tough on me, but not tough on me in the sense that he doesn't support me, tough on me in the sense that I've always had to show that if I want something, I deserve it, right? My life has been like that a lot. He's never given me anything on a silver spoon. Like, I've never been spoon fed. I was never a spoiled child. Everything I got, I had to work for it. So, like, even to get on radio, he had to see something in me before I actually, stepped out there and started doing it.
Yeah, that's one thing a lot of people don't get, right? They think like maybe you feel yourself or something, but when I create opportunities, before anybody knows about my parents, they have to know me and respect what I have to bring to the table.
Exactly. That's why, like you said, I'm a go-getter. I've always been like super focused and ambitious. Like my whole life, that's literally how I've lived. It's also the reason why I barely have like free time for a lot of people. A lot of people are like, you're always busy, or it's always work. It's always like, do you ever have time to spare? And it's not that I don't. It's just that for me, like right now, I prioritize, you know, chasing my dreams and my goals more than anything. So I guess, yeah, it's not been easy, but it's kept me going. Well, all are welcome. For me, all are welcome. I'm never someone who's gonna shut you out because of a past experience. Many people tell you this. You could have done me like dirty, or you could have like, been wrong or come across as rude.